All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Scyushi, and we are back here with more Trove and talking about the July community letter. Now, I'm a little bit late to this. I actually intended on posting this yesterday, and then I don't know, I just didn't get around to it. You know, dad life, that's how it be. So anyway, can you believe Trove turns 10 this month? It actually is older than 10 years old. July is our biggest celebration yet, with events, giveaways, and more surprises than a chaos chest. But first, let's rewind and go through June. Nice little recap of the splendid summer events and stuff. We also ran a community Friday the 13th where Trovians dress to impress. Okay. I kind of like those. Those are fun. Anyway, let's get to the actual community questions. Could future patch notes be more specific, especially when it comes to number changes? For example, the last patch said some of the rewards for charging legendary tomes have been adjusted, but it isn't clear exactly what changed. Yes, I completely agree. It kind of depends who's in the office that day, because a lot of times they won't end up explaining things properly. Like they might just be like, oh, we readjusted some of the damage. So now the gunslinger's doing 30%. And it's like, but I don't know what the old value was. Anyway, they say we try to keep the patch notes clear, but sometimes we keep things a bit general when the changes are small. It's not small. This was a pretty big change. They ended up making it so that you could get the keys for the skill tree in the new, in one of the tomes. Like it got completely overhauled. So I don't know why they're saying but anyway, they say they understand where you're coming from and will aim to be more specific going forward, especially when it comes to numbers. This one I think is actually from Spooky in our community. So could we get a roadmap of upcoming plans and updates? We're really enjoying the communication so far and would love more transparency about what's ahead. We currently share some of our upcoming plans month by month in our community letters. They haven't. That's the level of visibility we feel confident providing at the moment. We understand that many of you would like a more detailed look further ahead, but we would prefer to avoid setting expectations. Yeah, so that's kind of the biggest problem that's happened over the years with Trove is expectations not meeting, or in some cases actually just getting scrapped outright. And so they've kind of gotten this regressive back step where they just weren't open with what was coming. So I don't know, that's kind of a cheaty way of them dancing around the question. I still would love to have a roadmap for Trove, but generally speaking, I personally would wonder whether or not Trove's future development is finite. Like, I would not be surprised if they don't have like a specific roadmap themselves. They kind of just work on whatever they're told to work on, or maybe they just work on whatever they feel like. I really don't know, but I don't know if Trove can have a roadmap, at least based on this answer. Why are there so few dev live streams lately? They were a fun way to show off new content, interact with the community, spotlight artists, modders. It'd be great to bring them back and to answer live questions. So they say that live streaming is a unique and personal way to connect with our community. It takes a genuine desire to be seen and heard. Totally understand that. The willingness to speak on behalf of the team in a live setting. While our focus these days is rooted in building and evolving Trove behind the scenes, our passion for staying connected with you remains as strong as ever. That's why we're especially excited to announce a special live stream. They're streaming on like the 16th or something. It's a unique and meaningful opportunity to reconnect with you live and celebrate the incredible milestone together. I'm assuming they're just gonna play the game and not talk about new stuff, because that's the thing that I feel like they kind of just completely ignored with this post, is the idea of seeing new stuff, seeing stuff that they were still working on. Like, you guys might remember years ago, they actually teased an animation someone was working on the dev team for the Dino Tamer to fly while it's in its ult mode. And it was basically like holding on to the dinosaur while the wings were carrying it. Unfortunately, that never got into the game, which kind of refers back to the other question where they say no to a roadmap. And then that's it. Okay. They talk about some upcoming stuff, which is just the Sunfest event, the Yabaki thing. Okay, cool. Twitch drops are coming. That's coming on July 3rd, so get ready for that. And that's not all. There's bonuses, boosts, login, gifts, and other surprises as we end up going through the event and through the phases of the event every week. There's going to end up being some new stuff. I don't know, man. Like, okay, I can't really complain about the fact that we're even getting community letters and community questions. This is awesome. But there's kind of a point where it kind of feels like, why are they doing this if they don't have anything to say? You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean to sound mean. I don't know the circumstances of whether or not they're allowed to talk about anything or whether or not it's just not there yet. You know, like a couple other community layers back, someone asked about new classes and they mentioned and teased that they would work on new classes eventually. Basically, the way that they explained it, where they said it's not a matter of how, it's a matter of when. That kind of implied to me that the new class isn't even being worked on yet. It's just something that's coming down the line. Which is disappointing to me because the classes are the most exciting part of Trove, and I miss the days when we would get consistent new classes constantly added to the game. Yes, I know power creep is a thing. Yes, I know balance is a thing, but let's be real, Trove isn't really that balanced in the first place. And it's just kind of like, I don't know. For me personally, I just want new classes. I think they're far more fun than just mastery farming, because that's kind of what Trove is at in this point in time. Is it's just like, even this event is just to get a bunch of items to get you more mastery. That's about it. But anyways, now I digress. I'm just going off topic and talking about all the things that I end up regularly talking about in live streams. I do appreciate the fact that they're doing these community questions and answering them to the best that they can, but at the same time, this is kind of a big old nothing burger. You know, there's no taste, no flavor, there's nothing to it, which is a little bit disappointing, or maybe disheartening is the right word, because it's not that I'm disappointed. All right, so if you ended up enjoying today's video, I would appreciate if you left a like, subscribe for more. You guys can definitely tune into these every now and then, because we've been getting these every month. They also have the feedback channel over in the Trove Discord where you can leave these questions and then they end up getting upvoted and so on and so forth. Personally, I think somebody should bring to their attention the idea of adding a battle pass. I know some people think battle pass, but I think about it in Trove, man, it would actually work pretty well.